Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh to my respected lecturer, Dr. Mahmudah Hassan, and my fellow viewers. My name is Nabilah binti Yusnasri with Matric number 2213364, and today I will be presenting on a book that I read, which is Boy vs. Girl, written by Naima. So a little bit about Naima. She is an African Muslim woman who is also a descendant of Scottish Highlanders, and she grew up in Zimbabwe. She is an author of more than 25 books, and some of her best-selling books are From My Sister's Sleep and Far From Home, which received an award of 2013 Best Books for Older Readers by the Children's Africana Book Award jury. So next, let's move on to the summary of the book. So the book is about Farhana and Faraz, a pair of twins who lives with their family in London. The rest of the family, along with their aunties, uncles, and grandmother, also lives near the neighborhood in London. Although only Faraz and Farhana was the only generation in their Pakistani family who was born in London. Farhana is a brighter twin who excels in her school, be it academic, co-curricular, and even her popularity in her school social life. On the other hand, Faraz, unlike his sister, he is a bit behind his studies, although he has a very great talent in art. And as a loving and supportive sister, Farhana always supports her brother to pursue arts. Well, so the story goes with, while everyone is busy preparing for this year's Ramadan, Farhana and Faraz went on a hangout with their auntie, who we call Auntie Najma, which leads to them questioning themselves about their goals that they want to achieve when they are in this year's Ramadan, and that will be continuing until even after the Ramadan is over. And that is the beginning of the journey for both Farhana and Faraz to change themselves in order to become a better Muslim. And this book contains a lot of their challenges. Although they have different challenges during Ramadan, the book is on how they face the challenges and how they contain themselves to stop them from breaking their promise to themselves. I will be presenting on the interesting scenes that I found in this book that can make us reflect on ourselves together. So the first scene is an excerpt from the book, which is, no one seeing Auntie Najma on the street would have any clue that she preferred to wear her kurta tunics with faded blue jeans, or that she had a tiny diamond nose ring and a weakness for gourmet sandwiches and designer handbags. So from this excerpt of the novel, we can see that Auntie Najma, who is a Muslim woman wearing a niqab, even though she lives in London, where the Muslim population is a minor, and also prefers not to cover themselves so that they can fit in the society. She also has the same desires as any other woman, which is for the designer handbags and the diamond rings, which so therefore we can see that one cannot condemn someone who covers their aura perfectly, whether it's a burqa or niqab, to be different from someone who is not covering themselves, because we are still the same. What different in appearance doesn't make us any different from anyone else. So the story begins with everyone is busy for this year's Ramadan, including Farhana and Faraz's family, although they were in London. So one day, when their parents were out to prepare for Ramadan with their grandmother, Auntie Najma went to the house and asked for both Farhana and Faraz to go on a hangout with her. In which, when they were on the hangout, Auntie Najma told both of them about her goals to achieve during Ramadan. So the talk about goals in Ramadan makes them reflect on how they performed their Ramadan last year, which making both Farhana and Faraz to list out their own goals to achieve too during this Ramadan, and to become a better Muslim even after Ramadan is over. And that is the beginning of the journey for both Farhana and Faraz in facing their challenges in order to become a proper Muslim and to achieve their goals during Ramadan. Moving on to the next scene, in which in this scene is the first day of Ramadan, enjoyed by Farhana and Faraz family. However, when after iftar, when Farhana's father and Faraz were preparing themselves to go to the mosque in order to perform their Tarawih prayer, Farhana told them that she wanted to come along because she wanted to join the Tarawih prayer too. However, both her mother, who we call Umarji, and her father didn't allow her. Although Faraz, as her brother, is pitying Farhana because he knows how deeply Farhana loved to be included in religious things. Based on this excerpt, Farhana said, "But Umarji," Farhana protested as her father and brother put on their coats. "I want to see what it's like." In which her mother replied, "That's for the men, Farhana. We have too much to do here." In which Farhana replied back that, "I don't see why the men get to do all the religious stuff and we get stuck in the kitchen." Her father frowned, surprised at his normally obedient daughter. "Farhana, that's enough. You're going to help your mother. We won't be long." And with that, father and son left the house, joining other men from neighboring houses to walk to the local mosque. So from here we could see that in their family, the Pakistani traditions are that the women have to always handle the household chores, whether it's cooking or cleaning, and whereas the male family members are always encouraged to do religious stuff. So from this scene, we could see that Farhana is going against this tradition because she cannot accept that only the men can perform religious things, because and her as a woman need to follow the tradition, which is to skip the Tarawih prayer that she really wants to go, and to stay in the kitchen. So however, unlike us who lives in Malaysia, we are very encouraged to go to the Tarawih prayer, together with our family, no matter whether it's at the mosque or at the surau at your neighborhood, or even at your house in congregational Tarawih prayer, because we see it as something that not only can make us receive reward from Allah, but also it can strengthen our bond with our family members. So unlike us who are in Malaysia, we are actually very lucky, because unlike Farhana, she cannot perform Tarawih prayer, although she really wanted to go. And so moving on, there's a scene where after around a week into Ramadan, both Farhana and Faraz were given starting to face challenges, although they were different challenges. However, it's making them hard to focus on their goals in Ramadan. So as for Faraz, he went deeper and deeper into the challenge, in which he cannot refuse his good friend, who is called Screws, and the gang, in which they actually is a very bad influence, because they're doing illegal things, both in Islam and the world laws. So as he went deeper and deeper into the illegal crimes, one night Faraz dreamt, had a nightmare, and in the nightmare there was Farhana, who his beloved sister, and so that dream impacted him. When he woke up, he immediately get off the bed and he made his way in the dark to the bathroom and made wudu, washing his hands, nose, mouth, arms, face, head and feet, which implies that he took wudu perfectly, and to perform prayer, although because there's still time for him, there's still time. And he also said, wash it away, just wash it all away. Even breathing, it isn't too late. So from here we could reflect that as humans we cannot run from committing sins, because we are simply humans who are always fall into the devil's temptations. So in here we could see that Faraz forced himself to get up and to perform and to ask forgiveness from Allah for all the sins that he committed, in which we can reflect that as long as we are still alive, we can still it is still not too late for us to go back to the right path, which is to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and ask him for forgiveness for all of our past sins. So as long as our time is still on this world hasn't stopped, we must force ourselves to ask for forgiveness for all of our past sins. Lastly, for the last scene that I will be presenting in this presentation is a scene where Farhana was involved in an accident, in a planned accident by screws, because Faraz went get out of their gang, their bad influence gang, because he wants to stop getting into more illegal crimes. And Auntie Najma was the one who supported him and forced him to get out before it is too late. And so when he get out of Screw's grasp, Screws was not happy with it, and so he planned on a revenge in which he purposely hit his Farhana, and which ends up in Farhana getting into a coma. And when Farhana is awake in the hospital, she received a letter from her former lover, in which he said, "Farhana, did you think I would let you go just like that? You must think me a bigger fool than I am. Wait for me, I'm going to get myself sorted, then I'll be back for you. Someone like you only comes by once in a lifetime. I'm not about to lose you, inshallah." And so this is from Malik, who was really in love with Farhana, and Farhana also reciprocated the feelings. However, Farhana realized that it is haram for both of them to have a relationship, because a relationship between unmarried men and women is not allowed in Islam. And so, however, they are still too young to get married, and that is why Farhana decided to end whatever kind of relationship she was having with Malik, and she doesn't even want to have any contact with him. And so from this excerpt we can learn that Malik, who is really sincere about loving Farhana, and he also realized that it is haram for him and Farhana to continue the relationship without getting married. And so, to reflect on ourselves, there is too many couples in the Muslim community right now following the non-Muslim community, because they like to have relationship without marrying. And we should, because as Muslims we should follow what Malik and Farhana done in this novel, because although they really love each other and they were loyal to each other, they still follow what the Muslim has obligated us to do. And so although they pull apart from each other, Malik promised her that he would improve himself and he would come to her again. And what actually implies in his letter is that he would come to propose Farhana to become his wife in the future, so that they can get married and have a halal relationship. And so that is all from me. I hope you enjoyed the presentation, and thank you for watching.